and let us all do we can to build a better future.
So, folks, Hillary Rodham Clinton. Hillary Rodham Clinton was called out at an event in which, she's right and rightfully should be called out. But I got to tell you, this activist has the lungs of a titan. This activist would not be silent. And Jose Vega, I guess you're inspiring so many other people to speak out, to share their opinion, to share your perspectives, because these politicians, these legacy politicians, for a long time have been protected by the shield wall of corporate media. And unfortunately, corporate media for a long time has gone away with driving this perception that these politicians are caring people. Now, Hillary Clinton, who's now a professor, how did that happen? How does that happen? Was about to do a little speech until this happened. And folks, this is so beautiful. And I know this happened on Friday, but we have to talk about this.
Thank you very much.
And she does that smug face right there. Hold on. She's like, okay, someone's on the kill list.
That's my name. That's right.
War criminals. The people of Libya, the people of Iraq, the people of Syria, the people of Yemen, the people of Palestine, as well as the people of America will never forget.
Violating the university code of Rotary. I'm asking you to leave. The delegates will now escort you out of.
God, man, that smug face. People say Donald Trump is smug, man. Okay. Who's able to perfect a more smugger face? All right. That's so smugly, smugly ugly. Type 1 for Hillary Clinton, type 2 for Trump. I'm just gonna say I think Hillary's able to. It's because she's been involved in politics for such a long time. Like with Trump, it is who he is. He's probably born with that face. But Hillary Clinton, she crafted it into just what we see here today.
The building. Thank you. Can you, sir? Sorry about.
Now, this right here is gold. Pure gold. It's outstanding. Outstanding indeed. This man has a voice of a titan.
That's right. Yeah, okay, sorry.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
You got it, boy.
Free Palestine!
Okay.
That's a great voice.
Let me thank all of you for coming because this is such an important subject. And as you just heard from Milan, it is one that she and I and so many others have been focused on.
You could hear him still walking out. That's great. Hold on. One more time. One more time for him.
Sir. Sorry about.
Free Palestine!
Keep at it, boy.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Okay. Let me thank all of you for coming because this is such an important subject. And as you just heard from Milan, it is one that she and I and so many others have been focused on for decades. And yelling doesn't solve the problem.
Yeah, just like how she said in that Fox News interview, yelling doesn't solve the problem. Everyone needs to protest correctly by not protesting at all. Stop protesting us Democrats, which I'm very curious to see what's going to happen at the DNC convention here in Chicago, because how close will protesters get to the DNC convention? Where will they be allowed to protest? Will they be allowed anywhere near the facility whatsoever? Or will they be miles away because the DNC doesn't want to see the people protest them? Chicago is going to be very interesting in August, and I am deeply concerned about overall how that convention will go. If it will be a event of, well, lackluster stuff, or there's going to be people who will be vocally speaking out. We shall see, but I'm willing to bet anyone that's a front card member of the Democratic establishment is going to be there, most notably the Clintons.
the kind of hard work and the work that you will hear from the panelists today.
That's right.
I think it's important that okay, all right, we're gonna stop a minute, and you know what? Why don't all of you just interrupt me so that you won't be interrupting our panelists, so that we don't have this kind of disruption when we have people who are real experts in this area. And so I think it's important to focus on the event we're here. People are free to protest, but they are not free to disrupt events or classes.
Yeah, so people are free to protest, but don't interrupt classes. Don't you dare interrupt me. College is a place where you don't think. It's where you're supposed to listen and follow orders. Hey, who remembers where college used to be a spot where, there was exchange of ideas, enlightenment, and education. Yes, the occasional to get high and have some fun too. But I guess college is no longer like that anymore. Or hashtag what's the incentive anymore?
And that is going to be the standards that we follow here and going forward.
So all these people who are speaking out, why are they speaking out? Well, because we know that there's a crisis in Gaza. We know that this Professor Hillary Clinton, just wants to keep on getting away with it. So hold on. I got a little bit more, and I want to give a shout out again to Aaron Mate that was able to at least get some of these videos down in here. Hold on, because we got a couple more.
That we not turn away from what is going on across the world. And it's very important.
She's like, so many are on the kill list.
That, we have women's perspectives.
You are disrupting an academic event. Please exit the space. You are disrupting an academic proceeding. This is a violation of the university rules of conduct.
It's a violation. A full-on violation. What about free speech, man?
You're in violation of the university rules of conduct. Thank you for leaving the space.
And I think it's also
Hillary probably wakes up every morning and wonders, gee, who's going to interrupt me this time? But it wasn't only just Hillary Clinton who got interrupted. A former UN ambassador, Linda Thomas Greenfield, took the stage. The event was temporarily shut down after audience members began chanting Free Palestine. Again, shout out to Aaron Mate, award-winning journalist. Keep speaking truth to power, Aaron.
Delighted to be part of you and joining this
regulations and the conduct of the university. We will ask delegates to now please escort you out. You are interrupting an academic event, and this is in contrast to the university regulations about time, place, and manner. You are now going to be escorted. Okay. Okay.
So what
I like so far, there's been more than just four. There's a lot of people. Listen, politicians, people aren't going away. This is only the beginning, Democrats and Republicans. The two-party system has had its time. People are tired. We've got money to bail out banks, money for Israel, money for Ukraine, money for this war in Yemen. We got people trying to instigate crap between China and Taiwan. Why is there such a rush for the sequel no one wants? World War III. Why? I have to wonder. The whole world is turning a blind eye, or at least our politicians are turning a blind eye to the deaths and destruction in Gaza. So many who are in key positions of power, who could, in theory, stop this, who could, in theory, do the right thing, but they choose not to because it's going to hurt their bottom line. Check out Unusual Whales on Twitter, and you'll find out what your fantastic lawmaker in the U.S. Senate and House of Representatives, just how intertwined and connected they are with the military-industrial complex and big oil. You'll see just how much money they're making, and then you'll understand why we have so many forever wars. Anyone remember when there was a peacetime? Can anyone vaguely even remember it anymore? What that's like? A world without conflict? What a sight that would be.
What I'd like to talk to you about today, to start with, I visited 5 months ago a refugee camp in Adre, Chad, just over the border from Sudan, and I heard from so many people who have said to me,
this is yet again a violation of the university rules of conduct. You are interrupting an academic proceeding. It is time for you to exit the space.
Exit the space.
This is a violation of the university rules of conduct. This is an academic proceeding, and you need to exit the space.
It's a violation. Oh, there's a lot of people in there, huh?
Event briefly and reconvene in a moment. We embrace freedom of expression at Columbia University. This is a violation of the university rules of conduct, as it's a disruption of an academic proceeding. Thank you for making your way out of the event space. We need to.
Okay, what they're doing is like the promo card when there's like a little problem on set. Ba-da-bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. Ba-da-bum, bum, ba-dum, bum.
Exit the event space. You are in violation of the university rules of conduct. The event will proceed momentarily. You need to exit the event space. You are in violation of the university rules of conduct. Thank you to our audience for being patient. We will begin again momentarily.
I like how what Freddie G writes. You are no longer allowed to breathe our air. Kindly leave. Leave immediately. Leave immediately. And of course, Dan Barr says, haha, Hillary speaking on preventing, well, SA. Okay. Haha, the jokes write themselves. Well, let's be clear here. You know, it is rather interesting that Hillary Clinton is speaking at that event. I wonder if she'll talk about first name Jeffrey, last name E. Probably not. Probably not. By the way, this article came out last month in January 12th. Hillary Clinton blasted for uninspiring class at Columbia University, failing to loosen up. So what exactly is happening there? Those who do shouldn't teach. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's class at Columbia University was more like a semester-long ad for her book than a course fit for Ivy League institution, according to one dissatisfied student. Columbia student Layetta Arca gave a scathing review on TikTok of the former First Lady's course Inside the Situation Room, which Clinton taught with the Dean of Columbia School of Internal and Public Affairs, Karen Yaramillo, during a fall 2023 semester class. There was kind of a divide between the students and the professors. Well, of course, if Hillary Clinton's there, there's going to be that big invisible wall. I'd hope that over the course of the semester, Clinton would start to loosen up a little bit. We get to know a little bit more Clinton as an individual. Oh, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry you paid money for that class. That was never, ever, ever going to happen. You were going to listen to her book, whether you liked it or not, you know, and have a professor-student relationship rather than having her talk to us. Oh, no. Listen, that wasn't going to happen. The course description had promised that students would be taught how to analyze and understand the complex interplay between individual psychology, domestic politics, public opinion, bureaucracy, the international environment, and other factors which fed into decisions about foreign policy. Oh, Hillary, you still got it. You know how to do that lying. She knows how to do that lying, folks. The reality, however, was more like a one-sided speaking engagement where you're just getting talked to. Well, of course, man. This is Hillary's little you know, get well event, because she still hasn't gotten over 2016. She will never forgive the American people. She will never forgive the American people, the press, or anyone else anyone else that didn't support her in 2016. And that was definitely frustrating because a big part of why we were in class was to understand about decision making, why people made decisions that they did. Here, I'll give you just one word: money. Money, 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 money. Money, money, money. Money, money. That's why decisions are made by our sociopathic government officials. It's all about the dollars, baby. It's all about the money. It's all about cash. It's about the flow. It's about who gets what and who gets where. It's always about the dollars, okay? It's like The Sopranos. It's like Goodfellas. It's like Casino. It's always about the money. It's like Boardwalk Empire. It's like The Wire. Hey, listen, people, hey, you went there to hear somebody talk. But the real truth is, behind all those fancy big words, it's always about the dollars. Why do our politicians vote on certain things? It's about money. It's always been about money. Hang out with Hard Lens Media, and you'll get the truth of it. Trust me on it. It's in addition, Hillary Clinton didn't really bring any examples or instances or insights that she hasn't already mentioned in her book or in published articles. Oh. I would have really hoped that you would bring in some more unique insights and more vulnerability and discussion on why she made the decisions that she did, what her insights were, what her thoughts were. Young student, you don't want to get too close to the Clintons, because if you get too close, that's what'll happen. That's what'll happen. So you were going to get that. So going on further, she goes on to say, usually whenever you start to get to know politicians more on a personal basis, you start to like them a little bit more because they become more humanized. Politicians are not people. You know, I ought to teach a class at Trump. You know what? Donald Trump, make me a professor, and I'll teach at Trump University. Understanding Politicians 101. First course is First test is, and it'll be a written, and I want a detailed 10-page paper, properly paragraphed with punctuation points, people, on why politicians are not people. Okay? First thing is, politicians are not people. I want all of you to be creative, but it's a 10-page article or 10-page paper. It's due next week, Friday, on my desk. And I better get them all in, or all of you are going to go see the White House counselor. Final quote here. I think there are definitely places where she could have been more honest with us because she wasn't in her role as Secretary of State or politician. She was there as a professor to teach, and I wish she had embraced that role a little bit more. No, she was never going to do that for you. That was never, ever, ever going to happen with Hillary Clinton. In what world do you see that happening? No, never. Never that. I'm so sorry. But shout out to those activists calling out Hillary Clinton, especially at that event. More people need to speak out. The crisis in Gaza is still ongoing. People are still starving. People are still dying. And our politicians are still doing nothing to stop the disaster. Folks, get ready to see more stuff like that. People are angry. People are upset. And the era of being nice to politicians or being polite, it's coming to an end.